My new kick is Ketone IQ from Health via Modern Nutrition. I've been using it right before I work out, and every time I sit down to record in this studio, I know it's working because I can feel my brain activity increase and my body temperature drop. It literally is like having ice in your veins. Ketone IQ is brain fuel that delivers a clean energy boost without sugar or caffeine. Just take a shot whenever you need to re-energize. I won't lie to you. Ketone IQ does not taste great. This is a shot. It is meant to be taken just like one. Jet fuel is not meant to be sipped on. When my brain is fueled by ketones, I feel calm, focused, and ready to get after it. That's why 60% of cyclists on the Tour de France use Ketone IQ. It's gonna be the next big thing in sports, and it's available right now at Sprouts nationwide. Save 30% off your first subscription order of Ketone IQ and 10% every month thereafter at hbmn.com/Chael. Just visit hbmn.com/Chael and subscribe upon checkout, or click on the link below. Is the BMF a belt or a title? It matters that you establish that to a degree, because guys, I must tell you, I kept my mouth shut yesterday. I kept my mouth shut because other people did. I thought we were doing that out of a sign of respect. I didn't hear you guys on the message boards, which I'm glued to. I didn't hear Poirier or Gaethje themselves. I didn't hear their managers. I didn't hear Megan Olivier. I didn't hear Michael Ease. I didn't hear anybody. John Morgan, Ariel Helwani, Mark Raimondi, Brett Okamoto. I mean, I keep playing this game. Nobody is nobody. Suggested that they do a trilogy. Those words had just not come up. As a matter of fact, Justin Gaethje, quick as Joe Rogan could get in there, cut a promo like only he can cut. God, that guy is so fascinating to me for many different reasons. But he cuts a promo that only he could cut. He left a man unconscious. He took his belt. He called for the fight because he wanted to do that to him. And then he tells the world, by the way, he happens to be my favorite fighter. Nobody's more surprised that head kick worked than me. That's a good shtick, if you're sitting down with Chael and Brendan and we're like writing things out for you and tell you what to go out there and deliver. That was real. That's really what he thought. That was his favorite fighter. He wanted to beat him, did beat him, but hold that thought because he quickly moved on and transitioned that opportunity into a number one contendership. That's a problem. Now, there's good problems to have, right, guys? Oh, I just got too much time on my hands. Oh, I just got too much money this week. I mean, there's good problems to have. If you're the promotion, if you're us and your fans, and you got a log jam in a division, you're in a really great spot. I mean, let me just juxtapose it. Our biggest stars at 185 pounds, we have no opponent for him. Not only do we have no opponent, the one opponent that was supposed to do it doesn't want to do it. The other opponent that agreed to do it, the promotion threw their hands up, so we don't want to do it. I mean, I'm just sharing for you. When I say we've got no opponent, and there's not a reasonable argument out there. There's one coming, but it's not coming till October. Former Chimaev and Paulo winner. I'm just bringing for you, like, there's a massive difference. And when I tell you that Justin Gaethje wants this opportunity, okay, this was Volkanovski's the end. But nothing. It was Volkanovski's the end. 155-pounders were not calling Islam out. And it's not because they're scared of him. Yes, they are scared of him. But that's not why they weren't calling him out. They weren't calling him out because there was no opportunity. It was going to go to Charles. Charles says no. Okay, it's going to go to Charles. Okay, Charles says no again in case you didn't hear him. Okay, great. It's going to go to Charles. All right, Charles says no a third time. Okay, great. It's going to go to Charles. Like, it was weird. That was a weird thing. But I'm sharing for you, if you're within that division, you're hearing it. You're realizing I can't do it. I mean, Conor McGregor himself, possibly the only guy that could come in and take whatever this, I got to have Charles, whatever that is. Even Conor said, hey, I'm out. It's his fight. So you then have Volkanovski, which you don't have to put a Colombo rain jacket on. You just have to have a decent memory and a pretty good ear for the dirt sheets. This was stated 1 week after Perth. Volkanovski Islam Part 1. 1 week later. I think it was 4 days. I'm giving myself a week to make sure that I'm accurate. Within the week, Dana White came out and said, Volk, I want you to fight Rodriguez. We have an interim champion. I want you to go back to 145. Islam, going to give a good look at Benny and Charles. We're going to find you a different opponent. It's going to be later in the year. If you guys truly want a rematch, if you both win those matches, I'll give you the rematch. So, okay, it's going to be Charles. Even though Charles says it's not going to be Charles, it's going to be Charles. Okay, we got it. But this isn't all that bad. We're going to Fight Island. It's Charles and Islam. Is a 3-1 spread the first time. There's nothing competitive about it. It's now a 4-1 spread favoring Islam. But Volk went and was a backup fighter. That's what he did the first time. So we know that he's willing to do that. And that's really good news. But guys, I'm bringing to you, if everything goes along swimmingly, which nothing in the sport does, but let's say that it does, right? We're only as good as the information we've been given. If Charles goes through with the fight in October, and DraftKings has it right, and Islam remains champion, okay? You then bring in Volkanovski. But how long do we have to wait? This was in February, guys. I don't remember dates. I don't know when guys fought. I remember this one. It was in February. It was prior to Leon versus Kamara, which was in March. So they fought in February, and the winner, who was not injured or hurt, doesn't get a return until the end of October, basically November. I'm just sharing with guys, what is that off the top of our heads? Is that about 10 months? Are we at 9 months? I mean, do you understand where this is relevant? So if Charles goes out there and fights with Islam, and then we're going to do Islam versus Volk, do we wait another 9 months? Should we figure that we do, that history's going to repeat itself? Should we just split the difference and call it 4.5 months? Okay, great. We're now into May. If we go and do that fight, but we keep Gaethje, one of the biggest draws, biggest sport, reigning BMF champion, true #1 contender, if we keep him on ice, does anybody even remember those things by the time May comes around? And it really doesn't matter if your answer is yes, because then you're going to wait another 4.5 months, which takes you to about August. That's to get Gaethje in there. I mean, if we just do things the way that they are right now, everything goes smooth, everything goes right. Hey, there's no problem, there's no hangups. Everybody stays healthy, everybody beats USADA. I mean, the whole bit, if this happens in your 55-pounder with a dream that has sacrificed your life, that has found a way through the regional circuit into the show that you dreamed about, you can stop dreaming about being world champion. Unless you want to go to 70 or drop to 45 or wait a year in a best case scenario. Ask Michael Chandler how waiting for somebody else works out, though. So I give you that whole rigmarole, guys, to try to suggest for you. If we're the decision makers, we're in a tough spot. Whatever is going on where this has to be Charles, whatever, okay. But we already said that it would be Volk as long as Volk beat Rodriguez, a fight that he wasn't terribly interested in doing. At a weight class he wasn't terribly interested in cutting down to, but it was International Fight Week. He was the main event. It was asking him, and he did it. So we're going to go with Volk. It's just the right thing to do. We're going to go with Volk. Then you have Justin Gaethje, who get brought in against Fedzayev in England, right? They take Fedzayev and they take the Colorado kid, Arizona, and by way of Colorado, they stick him in England. This is the night that Gaethje is to pass the torch. It might have been the best he's looked, which parlays him into a rematch of the bludgeoning of his career against Dustin Poirier, of which he wins, and now he's calling for a title fight, right? I mean, can we all agree that we got to give Gaethje what he wants? We have to. He's got a bet. We have to give him what he wants. Can we all agree to that? Okay, great. Well, what does he really want? He never once said, I want to fight Islam. So what is it that he really wants? He wants a feature match. He wants a bunch of money. He wants the respect, the recognition. He wants to add to his already beautiful leg. He's already been world champion. Now he's BMF champion. So what is it he want? How can we get him a really big fight? And therein lies the question, because if you can get him a big fight, you can't have these three pieces on the board, guys. I spent 8 minutes and 37 seconds. I hope that you understand when class is in session. We cannot have to have morale within a business and morale within an entire industry. We cannot have 3 guys deep for a title fight. We've never done it before in 30 years. We only recently have done 2. And of the times that we've been 2 deep, we've done that a total of 3 times. This has never been done. It's not going to be done here, but how do we solve the problem? How do we give Gaethje what he wants and what he deserves? How do we do that? I love the idea of having him take on Volkanovski. I love it. And what if Volk came up and got the jump on him? So now he's the 45 champ, he's the BMF champ. What if he goes to jump on Islam? It is game over. Right, as far as legacy goes, he will have 3 belts at once. He will be the first champ. A goal that so many people are working on doing and nobody's even been given the opportunity, let alone shown the potential. He could have it. I mean, I'm just sharing with you, like, there's really good reason to do this. Well, why would Justin want to fight him? Well, because they offered it to you. It's a main event. Oh, and by the way, he's ranked number 1 pound for pound. So that's the title that he's going to put up. It's not just you, Justin. He's putting up a title too. All of a sudden, it starts to get a little bit more interesting, doesn't it? And I'm just sharing for you, we're going to have to solve this problem in some fashion. And if we don't do that, okay, I'm spitballing ideas. It'd be a good idea if we got some conversation going about the trilogy between Dustin and Justin. We're 3 deep right now. That can't happen. So let's take number 3. Let's take the low man. Let's find him something else to do. And I think that just might be a trilogy.